2'8". He did his kilos at 2'8", ladies and gentlemen. Chuck Ritchie picks up the 4-pin. That good? All right. All right. For all those who are watching who may not have never seen the UBA event, and even if you've seen the UBA event and you do not know how it goes down, here's what it is. It is the first team to 21 points. There's a total of 40 points. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 10. Anyway, total of 40 points. Here we are, and it's neck and neck right now, ladies and gentlemen. The first team to 21 wins, but points matter. This early in the season, points will always continuously matter. This district is very tight. From top, I won't say top to bottom, but top to middle is very close. Extremely. And right now we're dealing with about a 50-pin difference in the middle pair, which already makes up for that 34 total pins. But you got 2 other pairs that are bowling, and both of them are very close. Scratch is less than 20 right now. The handicap 2 is sitting at around 30 right now. Just stay tuned, because you just never know. And here we are. Lee Bowling on a 4-bagger, trying to get a Cinco Sacco. Shout out to Synergy. And he almost leaves the 8-pin. Y'all hear it. You hear it. You hear it. You hear it. He almost left an 8-pin, but it fell. And he is at 5 in a row. If you are with Synergy, you would say Cinco Sacco. But right now, we're just going to give him a 5-bagger. We got Brian, the two-handed sensation, sitting back in his thoughts, who has the most rares I've ever seen in life. Besides Belmo, he's doing his thing. Get your mind right, brother. All right, as I walk down a little, trying to look at some other scores. Not that you care, but, you know, it's a season. It's a good shot. Team says 10-10. They are animated. They're in it. That probably means they are winning right now, but we never know because it comes down to the last bowler in the last frame. Let's go. Chuck Ritchie picks up his 10-pin yes again. And I know he's sick and tired of leaving the 10 pins. I see it on his face. I would have an interview with him, but it would be all curse words, and we don't want that. So I'll talk to Chuck later. But right now, Moose Tracks trying to capitalize on the double. This right now is huge because they're down by 80. He needs a strike. And he does get it. When I say he trips out the 4, he trips out the 4. Ladies and gentlemen, that just almost went from 100 to 50 that quickly. That is why all strikes matter. That is why you need to pay attention, and that is why you are still tuned in to the QC district, the best district in the UBA, baby. All right, as we continue to look at the middle pair, Erica Bone got it a little inside. She got lucky. She leaves the 4-7, slightly high. Kyle says, I would like to strike, and he does not strike. He leaves the 4-pin, almost up a 4-9. Calhoun is not throwing it well, but he's grinding it out.
Does he ever?
No, but that's Daddy Longlegs, baby. You know, I like the nickname. I really like it. So they're both looking at make-a-boos right now, and we're looking at a 51-pin difference currently in the middle pair. Erica picks up the 4-7 with no problem. Lil Shawty. Kyle picks up the 4-pin with no problem. We are in it.
Who is that guy?
Lee Bowling up on a 5-bagger, maybe, probably the most important ball of the season for him. As my right-hand man, if you were tuning in earlier, Will Jeter, who commentated earlier, standing next to me, says that Lee has no chance to throw the strike. Deshaun throws a strike for King's Court, and that was needed big time. But again, if Lee throws this one, it's almost all over in the middle pair. But as they say, you got to bowl. Don't matter who's on the paper. Does not matter. You still got to throw the ball down lane, and Lee gets it off his hand. And that, my friends, is a six-bagger. That is a six-bagger, and that may absolutely do it in the middle pair. That was huge. We're sliding into the 10th frame, but we got to finish the 9th frame. Also, Moose Tracks is on a turkey. He really needs this one for them to be any type of life going into the 10th frame for King's Court. Gets it out, and that is not good. Someone called that a washout. Someone just called that a bad shot. And it is. That is the 1, 2, 4, 10. He did not touch the hairpin, and that might do it for King's Court in the middle pair, which also might do it for the match. But again, we are here. We are ready because King's Court on the scratch pair is winning. So we don't know. We don't know. Oh, and he picks it up. Needed that. He needed a strike more than needed that, but it didn't need to open. He did not open. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I also want to, I don't want to be insensitive for all those in the Florida area who have been affected by Hurricane Milton. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you. That's near and dear to my heart because I'm from Florida. So I have a tremendous amount of family there that are struggling still without power. They're still searching for people. So these last two hurricanes, Hurricane Helene and Milton, yeah, they've smashed up the East Coast. But yeah, I just want to, have a little heartfelt moment. But now we're back to bowling, and it's looking very, very close. Erica throws a strike in the first ball in the 10th. She can finish with a 210. Kyle doubles in the 10th. He can finish with a 192. And Erica throws the second. Beautiful shot. She throws the ball so well. Listen, if you guys were here to hear the commentary on the carpet, you would laugh. I cannot repeat what was just said, but I do agree with what was just said, and I'm going to leave it at that. And Kyle strikes out for a 192. Doesn't matter. Erica is pounding his face in. She's going to shoot a 210. Maybe, yes. She goes 210. She pounds his face in. 210, 192. G-Town heavy hitters are up by 58 pins on the middle pair right now. But G-Town heavy hitters are getting their onion peeled way back on the scratch pair, which you cannot see, but they're getting their onion peeled way back on the scratch pair. When I tell you this last game is going to come down to the last game, it's going to come down to the last frame, we are here. We're at it. All right. Also want to give a special shout out to Bolero. Well, this is still 10 Park Lanes for hosting this UBA event. We all know how delicate and intricate it is for us to maintain houses. Make sure you tip your bartenders. Make sure you tell them thank you for being here, because they don't have to be here. They could close the doors on us and we would be lost. So we appreciate it. I know it's Bolero, but we still call it 10 Park. It's still the house that George Pappas built. Yes. So we're here. Lee Bowling throws it like complete and utter trash in the 10th frame, leaving the 3-6. Doshan picks up his spare in the 10th frame. He can strike out for a 182. If Lee picks this up and strikes, he will go to 35. But hey, we're here. And he's going to need every one of those pins because they're getting shellacked on the scratch pair right now. They're getting the onion peeled way back. They're getting listen, they're losing on the scratch pair. So it's going to come down, as I told you guys earlier. He needed that spare, big spare, to the last ball in the 10th frame of the last bowler that bowls. Period. And O'Shawn finishes with a 181. Lee can strike out for a 235. And this Kings Court G-Town matchup is everything we anticipated. It is the primetime game. It is the Monday Night Football. It is the Sunday Night Football. It is what we wanted it to be. It is not a blowout. We are here. It's coming down to the last bowler in the 10th frame, probably on handicap 2, because they're in the 7th frame. Scratch is finishing up, as is handicap 1. And Lee finishes with a 235. They're up by 68 pins. Going down to the 10th frame, Chuck Ritchie, their anchor, is on his strike. John Moose is on his spare. Chuck, re-rack. John Moose throws a strike. He can finish with a 202. He can finish with a 202.
Come on, G. One time, let's go. William.
This has been a very entertaining situation. Again, I am John Alden Smith Jr. I represent Minister Society, a.k.a. Crazy Legs. I am here doing God's work in the building. And we have a doozy of a match that is featured. Again, QC District, one of the best districts, in my opinion, the best district in the UBA. Chuck Ritchie throws the first strike in the 10th. He's on a double. John Moose throws the first strike in the 10th. He can finish this with 202, but it won't matter if Chuck strikes out. It won't matter. The middle pair will win. However, John does not throw the next strike. He can finish with a 192. It will then turn to handicap 2, because as I told you earlier, Kings Court shellacked G-Town on the scratch pair, game 3. They won by 50. As I told you earlier, the difference in the teams was 34 pins going into game 3. That is an awful shot by Chuck Ritchie. However, he can pick this up, shoot 193. He left the bucket. And we all want a bucket of beers right now. That ain't the bucket we want. Yes. And you hear that loudness? That is G-Town looking at their handicap 2, knowing that they need that win to win. It's that close. And John Moose finishes 192. Chuck Ritchie finishes with 193. The middle pair without sticks, 638 for G-Town heavy hitters, 565 for Kings Court. It's safe to say they won that one. We are now going to focus on back to handicap 2 because, yeah, as I told you all earlier, it is going to come down to the last ball of the last bowler in the last frame. G-Town is up right now by, it looks like, 60 pins on handicap 2. And Brian Hahn, who just shot a 300, just throws a strike. That gives him 5 in a row. That gives him 5 in a row. And I'm telling you right now, they can do math. They know they need to smack him to win this match on handicap 2. Because as I told you, scratch pair won by 50 for Kings Court. G-Town heavy hitters won by about 60 on the middle pair. And here we are to handicap 2. Now, mind you, if you are just tuning in, handicap 2 has relinquished 2 perfect games, the first 2 games. One by Jeremiah Avery of Kings Court, game 1. The second by Brian Hahn of G-Town heavy hitters, game 2. You cannot get a perfect game, game 3 on this pair, but I'm telling you right now, they are striking. And when I say they, I mean G-Town. And Jeremiah just threw a sensationally bad shot in the 8th frame. Probably the worst shot he's thrown today. As Gene told me, the second worst shot he's thrown today. But again, it was a bad shot. It was a split. He has 150 in the 8th. He can strike out for 210. And now we start the 9th frame of what will be the deciding factor of this match. Handicap 2. And as I told you earlier, if you know nothing about UBA, if you're just tuning in to UBA for the first time, if you don't know anything about what goes on, it is the first team to reach 21 points. It's a total of 40 points. All points matter because it doesn't really matter if you win or lose. The standings are decided by the points. And that, my friends, by Gene Ayers, is a phenomenal messenger. Go get the 10-pin strike. He needed that. They needed that. And they know it. And they know it, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank you all for tuning in. I thank you all for hearing my voice for the last 2 hours. I thank you all for watching this match. I thank you all for tuning into the best district in the UBA, the QC district. Also, the most slept on district in the UBA. Also, your UBA champions 2 years ago, your G-Town heavy hitters. We do work in the QC district, and we're here to show you. We appreciate getting the love. We appreciate getting the camera time. But more importantly, we appreciate each and every one of you subscribing to UBA TV, checking into this live entertainment, and just being entertained on the Sunday afternoon. We know we got football going on right now. We get that. But shit, this is UBA, baby. Let's go. Brian Hall, ladies and gentlemen. Arguably your MVP of this match, Brian Hall, is on a 6-bagger after going perfect 300 game 2, after going 238 game 1, if I'm not mistaken. 228. 228, 300. He can go 270 if he strikes out right now, which will give him a great set. However, it's not about that. There's no individual in the UBA, and this team needs every last flipping point they can get because Kings Court is giving them that work right now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're stepping into the frame that makes or breaks bowlers. This is the frame that they all say, who are you in the 10th? And Randy says, I'm Randy in the 10th. That's a double for Randy. Excuse me. My bad, Jeremiah. That's a double for Randy. He needed every bit of that. And that is a turkey for Gene. Thanksgiving a little early for G-Town. But that's a turkey for him. He needed that. I've never seen Gene throw the ball that well ever in my life, even when he was on Kings Court. And Randy says, anything you can do, I can do better. That is a triple. Also, Thanksgiving very early for Kings Court. Randy, I've been watching you bowl. I see. Randy wants you all to know he has 9 strikes and 3 splits to possibly shoot a 206. And Gene throws his second best shot I've ever seen him throw in life. Great shot, Gene. You are my guy. You're my idol. That is what you needed. That is a 4-bagger. Randy gets the worst strike I've ever seen in the history of bowling for a 206. And he needed every last one of those because it's going to make them continue to bowl. I know you guys are looking like, it's not close, John. It's not close. You never know. You just never know. Because I told you that Kings Court smacked them, peeled their onion back on the scratch pair. I told you that. I told you that it was a 30-point deficit coming into this game. I told you that. So we'll see. And it probably end up being 30-10, and I'll be doing all this talking for nothing. But at the end of the day, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Again, shout out to hashtag I Hate Your Guts Productions. Shout out to Bolero, 10 Park Lanes for allowing us to be here this evening. Shout out to the QC District. Shout out to the coach of the most, Chuck Ritchie, ladies and gentlemen. You're the best senior in the building. Okay? Doctor didn't bowl well earlier. The best senior in the building, Chuck Ritchie, ladies and gentlemen, and he'll tell you he probably left 70,000 10 pins a day, and he's not happy. He hates this place. He has the grimace face, but he didn't miss any. He picked them all up. And that is why Karen Steiner is on this pair of bowling, ladies and gentlemen. She is the meat of the sandwich. She's in the middle. She is currently on the 6-bagger, and she is absolutely destroying Brian Rogers right now, who has no clue of what's going on in this pair. But Brian is a good guy, and he's probably going to curse me out after this broadcast, but that's okay. No violence in the QC district. No violence. No violence. No violence. But Karen Steiner is up. She's on a 6-bagger. And ladies and gentlemen, when people say, "Oh, you bowl on the handicap," well, when it comes down to the handicap pair, winning or losing, this is where we are. Look at that. So the leadoff goes 218. Karen can go 260. If Brian strikes out, he can go 270. That is remarkable on handicap 2. All right? Brian Rogers finishes with a 151. He wants to just go watch football right now. He is not interested in anything that has to do with bowling right now. But he was here, and he fought. And now that car guy tries to finish for a 200. But Karen Steiner tries to shoot a nice 260. And she does. She throws the back. She throws the back 7 for a 260. No, I'm lying. She throws the back 8. She throws the back 8 for a 260. The middle bowler, back 8, 260, handicap 2. Don't matter where you are, ladies and gentlemen. You're either going to throw that rock or you're not. It's just that simple. Averages don't matter right now. Either you're going to throw it good or you're not. And again, while we're waiting on Brian Hahn to do Brian Hahn things, and he absolutely leaves a 7-pin, I want to interview Karen Steiner real quick. I want to ask her what I asked Gene, but a few other questions. How's it feel to bowl against your old team?
It's like bowling anybody else.
And not only did you bowl your old team, you bowled them well. So, no hard feelings, right?
No hard feelings whatsoever.
All right, but also, they can kick rocks. Great finish, Karen. We appreciate you. I know your team appreciates you. And you were the high in this game. Make sure you tell Brian Hahn. Make sure you tell Brian he's no longer the anchor. You are now the anchor. And Brian can throw the strike for a 249. Jeremiah Avery goes 190 last game. They go 547 as a team. And G-Town, they smack them. They go 727. They go 727 on handicap 2, ladies and gentlemen. And that, my friends, will more than likely do it. Appreciate you tuning in. This is UBA all day. UBA all day, excuse me. I've been John Smith as your mouth of the South. We'll talk soon. Peace.